Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Penguin Review series. I don't know what we're calling it, but episode 2 for the Penguin. I am the Clown Prince of Jules Trasnell. I'm joined by
I am the ring bearer, Kirkland Patzer.
The You and Me, Taylor Field.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, as I just said, we are here to talk about The Penguin, the pseudo sequel, I guess, to the Batman movie. This is in between. And speaking of, go to our, you can listen to all the episodes, Patreon or on the podcast feeds, but we just did an After 9 episode, and we're probably going to talk about a little bit of that stuff tonight. But we had some really good discussions on Matt Reeves' Batman and Batman 2 and other DC stuff. So check out After 9 in general. We went about almost half an hour over. It was a good time. It's one of those where it's just like, I love them. We're going off topics, but it's random stuff. So big thank you to everyone that showed up and joined us there. It was a very fun episode. And yeah, we got that going on. We have the finale of Rings of Powers later this week. We got Joker 2, which, boys, it's going to be a late night on Thursday. We're going to have Joker and Rings of Power back to back. That's going to be spicy meatball. So we'll see. And then
These tears we cry.
That's how I feel about that, but
Yeah,
can't
yeah.
wait.
Yeah, we'll see. But that means great content. Then we got Agatha episode 4 this week. There's gonna be a side quest hosted by, as of right now, Taylor and Kirkland. Is that a first time ever that's ever happened?
We've done a
Video
You and
game
Me for
show?
side quest, Travis.
Yeah, we
I don't think
have,
we've done
yeah.
a Kirkland and Me.
It seems familiar, but yeah, I don't know. Maybe not.
There you go. So it's first time. So lots of good stuff on the feed this week. And then also on Patreon. Check that out because you get episodes ad-free, early and exclusive. We just dropped, what is it? The Promised Young Women Retro is available for all the Phase 2 patrons and up. Same thing with the Fantastic Four 1994 retrospective. And then in just a couple of days, we'll be dropping the Fantastic Four 2005 one. So as we've said before, the new retros with that and Superman, those are 2 retros leading up. They're going to be Patreon exclusive, so look out for that. And yeah, there's lots of good stuff popping up the feed. So if you enjoy what we do, please rate, review, subscribe. We would very much appreciate it. And if you have some chuckles to throw them over at Patreon, because we are independent contractors and creators, and we do this. Just all 4 of us are making this wheel spin. The 4 to 5 episodes every week. That's just us, but it's with the help of all you. So we appreciate that. And a shout out to our Patreon producers. Speaking of that, I always do it. Air and Brain, April Darkness, Jack Grant, Muds, Sam, Superman Mike, God Loves Me 69, and Jeremy Renner. Big shout out to all them and Lenny Kravitz. He's not on there yet, but I'm sure he will be at some point. Taylor, what did you feel about the episode? Penguin episode 2, Inside Man.
You know, it's still picking up steam and just it really has this weird, like, kind of captivating aesthetic to it, and I love that it's carried over from that first episode. So everything that was going on here really was just pulling me in. I really enjoyed that they're still just sprinkling little bits of humor in here, and this isn't a spoiler, but like Oz is trying to cross the street and this car pulls up and honks and he's like, go, you go, and like the car just stays there for a second. Oz is like, what? And then and the car goes and he walks across and he's like flipping like, what the fucking idiot. It's just those little quality of life kind of moments that they're just sprinkled in throughout the show so far that I really like. And it's not progressing the narrative in any way. It just kind of adds to the atmosphere of the show. And I like that. And I like how it makes it feel very grounded. There are certain things that are revealed in this episode that are really intense and really crazy. And there's just these certain little reminders that remind you of where these characters are currently in their journey and just how real this world is and how things can really change, and how it does a good job at reaffirming to you that this isn't like an MCU story where our characters are going to come out okay and everything like that. And of course we know Penguin's going to come out okay at the end of this because he's a Penguin, but
Maybe he's
the
not. Maybe
characters
that's
that
the
he's
big thing.
affiliated with, though, that's where it feels like you're unsure because things can really change around. But I love how intelligent he is in this show and just how he's changing the plans and just kind of coming up with these ideas and always has something in his jacket pocket that he can just pull out and just kind of get out of a sticky situation. Because I feel like every episode we're going to see him in a situation where oh my god, like, is he going to get capped? But no, I truly believe he's going to come out and will be in the Batman Part 2. But this is a great episode. I loved it.
Fully, I do. Penguin.
Yeah, they just rip off the title. The Batman, fully I do.
Probably I do. Yeah, I am still loving this show. I think it's fantastic. I felt like this one didn't have as much of a sparkle, maybe the first episode had, but it was also the first episode, so it was like the first, a lot of anticipation
swinging.
build up. But I still think this is on par with last week's episode, quality wise, and yeah, I liked how you're just shouting out there, Taylor, like the realistic little moments that happen. I feel like those sequences, whether it's last week we were talking about the pickles and just like his little speech about pickles, or if you think of like what is it, like Reservoir Dogs, for example, just like certain like dialogue that they have like in especially in like a Tarantino film where they'll just go off about like something super random, and as you said, Taylor, like it doesn't progress the plot or the story or anything, but it's just, I don't know, it makes the overall what's happening just a lot more realistic, because it is just a conversation, like a nothing conversation that a lot of people would have in their day to day. And in this episode, I love when he was talking about like the cilantro. I'm one, I hate cilantro. So and he's
so
like
good.
he's like,
Yeah,
I asked for
good.
no cilantro, and then you get this, like might as well just put bar of soap in my
Put a bar
mouth.
of
And that's
soap in my
exactly
mouth,
how I
come
feel.
on.
Like I'm usually not picky, if I order something, no pickles, and then I get it, it's like, okay, whatever, I can pick it up. But with cilantro, that's one where it's like, no, I
So
cannot
good.
touch that. It's such a powerful flavor. But so this is kind of what he's talking about in the episode, and it's like, man, I totally agree with that. And I don't know, it just makes the performance that much more authentic. And Colin Farrell he's just continuing to be fantastic. This episode, well, I guess it's only second episode, but up until now in this episode, I was like, oh man, maybe Oz isn't safe. Like maybe he won't make it out of this this season here. And I feel like I'm happy that I am getting those thoughts, because it makes me nervous now. Like even though he isn't like a good guy, I'm still like, oh man, like how is he gonna? I don't know. Just there's more stakes to the overall situation, what's happening, and yeah, I'm continuing to love. Oh my gosh, Christine Milioti.
Sophia Falcone.
Yeah, Sophia Falcone. She's really. I would say she was my standout in this episode specifically. It seemed like it was a little bit more focused on her, more so than the last. But no, I'm really liking just what's going on with her and her own psyche, which is pretty twisted and messed up. But yeah, I'm really loving this. Like, especially, I don't know. There's something special about these Sunday night reviews, whether it's House of the Dragon or this. Just boot up Crave, you get that HBO little. Yeah, exactly. It's like, man, I'm ready for this, and I think it just, I don't know. It's like Sunday night football. It's Sunday night TV, and it's just the quality is just chef's kiss. I'm really loving this show.
Maybe if they put Halo on Sunday, you guys would have been, liking that
Maybe it
more.
would have boosted my overall
Yeah.
thoughts, 0.5 or something. Who knows?
Yeah, no, I sound exactly like these gentlemen. Another great episode. I think they're laying the groundwork, especially at the end of this episode. I feel like maybe it'd be a good thing for Oz, but I feel like they put him in an even more difficult position. I'm very excited because it's that class. Like the episode's called Inside Man, and I think that this is just episode 2. It has, I guess not to the same extent, but what I love is uncut gems when a character's doing something and you got so little time, or there's so many people working against you, and you got to do this, this, and this. And even this episode, I thought for sure all this is for sure going to happen, and then it didn't, and I love that. And it just feels like already in episode 2, the walls aren't closing in, but it's like he can only kind of walk this tightrope for so long. So I can't even imagine when we're going to get to like the penultimate episode and finale, like where I just feel like it is going to be pressure to the nth degree, and I cannot wait to see Colin Farrell act that out. I think we got a lot of, we got to, I guess I'll say it for spoilers. There's a lot of characters in particular that we only saw maybe a scene of last week that I feel like we're learning more of, and two that I'm fascinated by because I feel like one is just foreshadowing what could happen in the future, and one we talked about a bit on the Batman, but I just don't know if it is a setup for the sequel or not, and it feels a little like they could go that route, and that's what's fun about the show. Even they introduced the other character with Sophia, and that was really cool, and I already see people theorizing who that is, but no, Sophia, she continues. I think she had the best scenes in this episode. I think last week was a split, but this just the ones I was most intrigued by, especially with this dynamic of, in most minor spoilers, she's being reintroduced into the family, but she's still known as a serial killer, right? It doesn't even matter. Like, it shows that even though they are a crime family, we talked about this last week, where like, oh, the Riddler was a step above that. Maybe she's not to the Riddler's level, but she's like a step above the crime family, I feel, as far as like, oh, this isn't okay. Like, you're kind of weird and everything. I think they gave her some really good tense scenes, and we got to learn a lot about Gotham in this, just on the radio or news clippings or people talking about what's going on. So that's fascinating. And yeah, every week I'm just interested to see, okay, where are they going to go? What's going to be this week's problem? And especially now with episode 2's ending, I'm very curious in the next couple weeks how Oz uses this new thing he's obtained to kind of maneuver around, which it could also, I can't say is going to be his downfall, because I don't think he's going to lose, but like, I think he's going to lose some things. And I think the things he does lose is, unfortunately, the thing he's agreed to or with in the ending of this episode, which we'll get into spoilers. I just feel like that's kind of the, Icarus flying too close to the sun. The, every example you want of baking your cake and eating it too. It's like, yeah, at the moment this might seem like a good idea, but man, this is going to really blow up. And I feel like they set the stage with two things in the episode. So I feel like this episode was great on its own, but last week felt like just a nice, almost little short film that could have been like played before a Warner Brothers movie, like, oh, the day in life of the Penguin, and he's trying to frame get power, and then he gets away with it, and then he's back on his own with Vic, and they're doing his stuff, right? Where this literally, I think, was like, okay, here's the path, here's where we're going, and let's see what's gonna happen. And I think I got an idea, but not exactly, and that's what I like about the show so far. And yeah, acting is always superb, and yeah, I'm like Kurgan said, it's great to have every weekend. It's gonna suck a lot when we don't have this and the Batman doesn't come out in 2025, it comes out in 2026. That would have been such a nice crescendo of all this ends, but we're only less than a year away. But now it's like, oh, we're like pretty much we are 2 years away, which is just fucking dagger to the heart. But we're gonna talk about it, so we're gonna get into spoilers, and then we'll be right back. And we're back. So I wanted to start with Oz's mother. So in this episode, I can't remember last week, did they specifically say she had dementia, or did they just say she was unwell? They didn't say that, right?
They didn't say it, no.
Yeah, okay. And even then, I feel like they caught her on a good day where she's okay, she needs some care taken care of. He wants to take care of her. But we learned in this episode she was like out and about in her house, didn't have her jacket on. It's cold there. It's getting colder, they've talked about. And then there's, I guess he's just a neighbor, right? Penguin was paying, I think.
The landlord.
Oh, he's the landlord. Okay, thank you. I missed that part. So he's the landlord, and the landlord says, oh, you should get her some help and everything. And then, he just gives her money. Like, do I pay you for your medical advice or whatever he says? And then, whatever. That's all good and dandy. I think she is somebody that she's not making it. I don't see the Penguin going into the Batman 2 with his mother alive. And I think she is somebody that's going to
she's getting killed, man. She's getting killed by Sophia.
Especially because
he
he told Sophia too that like, oh, my mother died a few years back, and I think that's a very highlighted detail, right?
As soon as he said that, I was like, it's over for you. It's over for you, mother.
And he also told his mom about Falcone last week. Remember that he killed him. So
that's right.
She has that information as well, and she's not right in the mind, so that could just slip maybe easily.
The way that Sophia played the scene, for a second, it almost made me think that she like knew that his mom was like still alive or something. Just because she like froze for a second, like really like looked at him, and then it's like, oh, is this like the start of like, okay, I just caught you in a lie? But now that I think about it, like in retrospective, I don't think that is the case. But she's gonna find out eventually, and it's not gonna end well for the mom.
And I don't know for sure if she doesn't know. That's the thing with Sophia. I'm with you where I don't think she knows, and I think that'll be a revelation. But this could just be a thing where she could be 2 steps ahead of the game and has an idea that Oswald's up to something. Because I think and we'll talk about the mom more, but I think I hope comes back is Sophia has this plan, right? And okay, she hires this guy a former detective who's high on drops. He's kidnapped some dude from the dude from the hospital that was. Like, lots of stuff happened in this episode, so I know I'm jumping around, but I'm just trying to get to the point where, she kidnaps this guy, they're going to interrogate him, and then what happens is Penguin goes to Johnny V, and he's like, oh, you didn't tell me you're doing this without me, I'm so loyal, and you use one of our guys, screw you guys, he walks away. She never once asked, like, how did you know I had a guy down there? Like, they didn't ask the point of origin, and I thought that was very risky for Penguin to do. I thought there was going to be like a maybe more, I don't know, suave way he was going to pull off, but he literally, like, he did in a complaining way, but he's still like, if she just mentions that to anybody, he's just kind of fucked now because they feel like she's going
Yeah.
to put two and two together. So that's where it's like, I'm not saying there's not a conversation that she's not already had with somebody like, oh, how'd you know? Oh, Oswald told me. And she just kept that. Like, I could see episodes 5 from now being like, you think you didn't know, or I didn't know, you're the one that told me your dad. Like, that's the thing. It's like, remember last week's Sophia, she did that to him already once. So I'm with you that I don't think she knows about the mum, but I would not put it past her to still secretly know. And she could just be like, 3D chest, 4D chest Oswald right now. Because he's just so like, yeah, let's dance. Like,
Yeah.
he's smart, but Oswald also can kind of get a little overconfident at times, and I'm worried that could be the case, you know. So Taylor's the mom making out season, or just this show, I
No,
guess.
I think you guys are right. She's gonna kick the bucket, and it's gonna be someone, probably Sophia, that's involved in killing her. And I think that's what's really gonna help Oswald ascend to being in more of a position of power. Because once that happens, he's gonna be like, okay, fuck it. He's gonna
Yeah.
go on a killing spree.
He's going killing spree. I don't know if he's going to go killing spree, but I
Killing
think that's
spree of the higher ups of the enemy crime
just-
families.
just gets in a car, just mowing down Gotham City citizens and everything like that. But yeah, I guarantee what's going to happen is in a few episodes, penultimate, whenever, one day Oz is going to go home and his mom's going to be hanging from the roof. I promise you that that's the image we're going to get. I think she's going to bust at the hangman, which I found curious that they. Don't think I misheard that they said she only hung women. Was that correct? That's what I
I
heard
missed
them
that
say.
detail.
Okay, I could be wrong, but I swear they just said she only hung women, which is like interesting. But yeah. Okay, so maybe I'm hearing stuff. So I don't know.
I've got a question primarily for you, Travis Kirkland. Feel free to answer as well. So, how do you feel? Because
You fuckboy.
we got crime statistics here of how crime has risen by like over 40%, and how it's just the city is
42.
absolutely 42. The city is absolutely fucked. How do you feel about like? Because we all love this Batman, but how do we feel about him just leaving and not being around and just letting the city just fall to shit like this?
Depends what you define leaving, though. Like, if we get to the Batman 2 and he's just in Bloodhaven banging Selena Kyle, then it's like, yeah, that's kind of shitty. I think that's not on. I don't think it's an accident that they said it's up 42%, and they also, in one of those headlines, said he's missing, right? So either he's working on, like, they could just say, okay, after the Batman movie, he was just really fucked up and he's injured, right? They could go with that because they are making this a more realistic Batman. So they just say, okay, he's on the mend, he has a concussion, broken ribs, and he's just sitting there as Gotham goes to shit. Or what I
Just doing the
imagine.
drops in his eyes.
Alfred, I gotta get back out there. What I imagine is I feel like he is dealing with one of the threats or the threat for the Batman 2, which would be, okay, it's a criminal threat, but it's a higher echelon. Like, I don't think it's this, but like the Court of Owls, right? That's a secret organization. So that's something that like Gotham News wouldn't know. Like, oh, and the Batman's fighting, God, I can't remember the main bad guy's name in Court of Owls. Shit. But anyways, like, oh yeah, he's fighting the head of the Court of Owls. Like, no, I think it'll be something like that where he's looking into something that's even worse than like the 42. Because like, okay, then Batman could drop down and just like stop these people. But I think there is one, he wants it all to stick. But two, I think there's just a something bigger out there, a bigger fish to fry.
It's always a bigger fish.
Talon, by the way, is the main criminal, or one of the. There's multiple Talons, but there's like a Talon that Bruce fights a lot and stuff, and has some ties to him. So
What do you think, Kirkland?
I agree with the bigger fish sentiment. I feel like it's also just like an easy way to explain kind of what's been going on. Well, like, yeah, you can't stop the corner store robberies because I'm looking into Talon and Hook and all these other Beak, whatever the members
Beak,
of
winged
Court
feathers.
of Owls are. Because, yeah, I imagine he's not just banging Selena Kyle in whatever it's called on the Batmobile.
yeah,
On the set
which
of
if he is,
Batman
I guess
2,
kudos
but-
to him. Do what you want with your life. So
Yeah, it would be interesting though if there is like a good story reason for why maybe he had to step away. Like he just got really fucked up. He took that adrenaline stuff and it just never
That's
left the
true.
system. He's just like angry all the time. Who knows?
Yeah, because we don't know that last scene when he says goodbye to Selena. We don't know when that was, but yeah, I think they're making that on purpose. I don't think it's a mistake. Like I said, the crime going up in 42, and plus, even then they just said like there's multiple stuff, right? Like that river wall has made more crime easy to happen. They say they're letting people out of Arkham. They didn't say exactly why. Like we knew it was Sophia, but it wasn't just her. Now it sounds like multiple people. I don't know if it's an overcrowding. I don't know what the deal is. So it's also the sense of like, if he is a realistic Batman, like crime's gonna rise no matter what. Like he can't stop this all. Like the flood letting more criminals in, people getting out of Arkham. He can't be everywhere all at once. Which I guess that's where you can maybe like introduce a Robin, but I don't really want a Robin in this universe per se. But yeah, so we'll see. So, what do you guys think about? What do you think is the trajectory? Because this is another interesting update I thought we got. What's the trajectory of Penguin's lady friend there in this series? Because she was worried about her girls getting hurt. She
Yeah.
figured out that he's using her as a cover for the Alberto Falcone murder. So she was really laying on of like, hey, like, she didn't even say be careful. Just like, I don't really like you're doing this. And he's like, oh, you're backing the right horse. But I just feel like both her and the mother were like,
Yeah.
not good signs.
I feel like I very much thought that she was gonna be like the easy kill until we had that scene with the mom, and then I'm like, are we gonna get both? We definitely could, but just something in me makes me think that she will be one that kind of moves on, because she seems like a small enough character that like she could also bounce up again like somewhere else.
Be in the
you
new
know,
club.
Penguin Folie à Deux, like she'll be the second part there. No, I don't know. Just to like have a familiar face to pull from the show. If let's say Penguin is in Batman 2, like just to have that kind of tie, I could see her kind of being that character. And I don't know. She doesn't seem like she is important to Oz, but she doesn't seem obviously as close as what the mother dynamic would be. But
No.
still important. So definitely, I think there'll be a decision that I think Oz has to make, that maybe she lives or dies from it, and just a little hunch makes me think she'll survive.
Now, I will ask you this because we didn't talk about this last week, and we talked about it in After 9, but I don't know if you guys caught the character right now because Mike brought it up. So I'll bring it up now because we're talking about like the future and everything like that. This character's name is Eve Carlo, and she is technically the sister of Clayface, and that's where I'm wondering where, like you said, I do think she's someone that could pop up. And in my trajectory, I thought, like, if there's a situation where she gets killed by the Penguin or the mob, I could like it's so tough because a lot of these characters we pitch, because I think like, okay, do you have a situation where his sister dies? Because they also, I can't remember if it's in a casting grid or somewhere they like specify that she uses like different outfits for some of her clients. So kind of like how her brother's like a master skies and shit, so they have that fetish going on. But like, is this a scenario where she dies and he like blames Penguin and the mob, and that's how you kind of interject Clayface because Batman's trying to take down the mob, and now you got this, serial killer like pretending to be this guy, pretending to be that guy. But then it's like, do you get too similar to the Riddler? And I think that's the problem of like with the Riddler, they already did the like integrated with the mob. So I don't know how, but it's hard for me to really believe that Matt Reeves just put in that last name for like no reason, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I just it's hard for me because you know what people are going to do with that name. You could easily just made her a prostitute with a different name. So giving her the name of that's where it made me think that. Just her even talking about watch out for girls, I just felt like, okay, I think that was the only illusion of like, hey, could this be leading to something towards in the sequel? I really don't know, because maybe she's just dead next week and it's just a fun Easter egg, but I don't know.
I don't think you're far off with the concept of them having the mob and then Clayface and all that kind of stuff, the Penguin. And I say that only because, like, if you look at those older Batman movies, they didn't really have anything mob related. It was just like a main bad guy with a bunch of henchmen. If you look at the Nolan
Nolan's
trilogy,
movies, yeah.
well, that's what I was going to say. Nolan is where we really got the mob heavily involved in I'd say at least the first and second movies. The mob wasn't really there in the third one. That was
No, they
just
kill him off in the first act.
Ye-
Bane just
yeah.
takes over and they're gone.
That's right.
Yeah.
So that's where I think, okay, we really get that world kind of highlighted. And so with Reeves' Batman, it focuses a little bit on, well, a lot in the first one, and then again here with the show. So I feel like that's definitely his focus point, is having the mob attached to all of these different these different like villains that Batman's going to be dealing with. And
Mm-hmm.
we got a lot more look at different family members here too, right? Obviously, we saw like Falcone's. I always forget Falcone.
Falcone.
Falcone's like Sophia's uncle, and then we got to look
Yes.
at her cousin, and then a very tense scene where like with the niece, where she like pulls the niece away from Sophia, which is very fucking awkward. So
It was such a fucking weird scene. I don't understand. Like, it seemed like the lady was so like, I don't know, like out of the situation, what was going on, and then like her
Yeah.
daughter came in, she's like, "Oh, you're a monster." It's like, well, you just fucking invited to go on like a girls' trip, but like it is
She
just.
didn't mean it. She didn't mean
I
it.
know, but like it was just such a strange. Like, why even have that interaction? I don't know. It was a weird jump. It wasn't what I was expecting to happen, but I don't know. It showed that she is kind of scary, and I mean, it's kind of adding on to what you already brought up, Travis, of just how the family's perception of her, like when everyone was
Yes.
there, and she's just scorfing down the fucking noodles or whatever the hell
clawing
she's
her
eating.
neck.
Yeah, that was something there. Yeah, I get what they're going for as far as like she never meant that trip, and I think it was just to show okay, she's trying to like make good with Sophia to be like, yeah, like I'll always be your friend, and then yeah, the daughter's there, and like, what do you think? She's gonna like hang your daughter in front of everybody? Like, I don't think it's gonna go that route. You also are in a mob family, but yeah, I guess it just was. I think the whole episode was trying to push her to do that last scene of with Oz to kind of say like screw them, we got to take them down, right? I think that's what it was trying to do. So it's showing okay, the uncle cast her out, which I was wondering, like I guess maybe because she went to Arkham, she was taken out, but I would have thought like after Alberto died, she would have been next in line, right? Like I don't think it's like a
Well, the uncle,
House of
right?
Dragon-
That's just
hmm?
the uncle. He's the next in line, right?
But why? Why shouldn't
Because
it be her?
his brother was well, I guess because you said the son. They set up the show with the son being in
Yes,
charge, right?
right? And
Maybe
it's like
he was just high and thinking he was in charge, but he wasn't.
no, he was in charge. I don't think he just. I think that's the whole point of the show. Like like I said, it must have been something like because she's an Arkham, maybe that he didn't have that change.
I feel like the family
in his
doesn't want her
will.
to be in charge, though, right?
No,
because she
they
is
don't.
such a wild card.
Yeah, but that's what I'm just trying to wonder. Do you think her dad had that, or do you think that's a mob family decision? Because like you couldn't, while he was alive, technically, if he were to die, you couldn't give it to Sophia because he still kind of could because Maroney's in jail and he's still running his family
Yeah.
operation. So
This episode made it feel like there was already tension amongst the family, but now it's just getting
Yeah.
ramped up, and I feel like Sophia's just gonna start fucking killing everybody. I really like the scene, like the aftermath of when Oz kills Buddy, and then everyone's just like Oz leaves the knife in Buddy's coat.
Poor
He's
guy.
just such a fucking little rat. I love it. But
Yeah.
like even before that, he's like accusing I forget his name, Johnny or something. Whoever has
Beatty.
that guy. He's just like, you fucking did this. Like he's just like blaming him like right
You
away.
rat.
And then yeah, like he's already just like starting to point fingers. And then I love the moment when what was her uncle shot Buddy, and then now she sees that guy as an enemy because it's like, who knows if he was going to say something more than that, like right from her perspective. Like it was just a really high chaos scene, and I loved what happened afterwards. And then of course you have the dialogue amongst Oz and her, but yeah, no, I'm fearful for the Falcons.
And she just also would be the one to kill him, I feel too, like the one that killed her brother. I think she wanted to do that honor of. It's-
Yeah.
I
yeah,
would
many
ass-
things like that. Yeah.
Yeah, I would assume like obviously she has lots of blood relatives there, but her direct family, when they showed us that gravestone, it was only for 4 slots, so they don't. Well, she does technically have a sister, which I do have something to share her, which someone we're talking about. You know the what is it? The symmetry between. Oh, I got the wrong window. Hang on, I'll have to pull it up. But like she does have a sister out there, but in her direct family, brother's gone, mom died a long time ago, and now dad's dead. So it's like okay, she has the family, but all this family is like people she can't really trust, I don't think, or don't want her there. She's kind of like the stepchild. But if you see that at the end of the Batman, it was Selena looking at her mother's grave, and then Sophia at the end of this episode being at the gravesite. It's just always Carmine, but I have her mom too, so some symmetry between her and Selena, right?
The
So
just weird thing, but Selena's shoulders line up perfectly with the tombstone. It's like her body.
Oh
She-
yeah,
that's
totally.
what she's gonna look like in the Batman too. She's like, I'm on a gravesite now, but I don't think she's gonna get a chance to meet her sister. I think Oz is gonna take her I think she's gonna get. I think
Kill the
she'll be
sister before.
Selena. Yeah, Selena's gonna die in this show, a one-off. But
In this
no, yeah, I think the Hangman's probably gonna get it. I don't think she'll make it out alive. So, anyone think otherwise?
I agree.
I think you're right, but it's more interesting if that's not the case. So I'll go
I
on the
agree.
other side.
I agree. I hope. How are we feeling about Vic? About like his status going? He had a bad week. He didn't deliver the jewels.
Mhm.
Penguin made him lay down in a grave, threatened him, and then he
What are
he-
death threats this guy's getting? He's,
yeah, that's what I meant. Like, there are a lot of things, and like, I don't know. I'm gonna love every week checking in on Vic to see like his death percentage or
Yeah.
his turn percentage, because I feel like, I don't know. He Penguin, they did a great job. We talked about he got this job. He didn't know how to drive, so he learned from Friday to Monday how to drive, and then he drove this crime boss around. Carmine found out he's talking to the feds, so Carmine had him dead, but he saw something in Penguin. So again, kind of what we thought episode 1 last week, but more allusions to Penguin just really seeing himself in Vic, like giving him a shot. But at the same time, I think he's gonna turn and die. Like, I just got a bad feeling he's gonna turn on Penguin. I don't know why, but I just something in my bones right now. You know?
Well, how are they going to carry this character beyond the show, right? Like, that's another thing I'm thinking of. Like, it's not
Yeah.
like he's going to be Batman 2's main villain.
No.
Like-
He's gonna be
Yeah,
a
you know.
Penguin lackey that Batman beats on, I guess. But
There's not much room, I don't think, for like a Pattison, you know.
I like the main villain of this show who has a direct problem with Oswald. Currently, yeah, I'd like they keep Sophia alive. I'd like to see it. And then this guy, there's no room for you. Sorry, you're
I don't know.
but he could be the new club, right? Like Penguin's right hand man, and he could be like that whiny guy Batman always beats up or something. you
Yeah.
know?
I'm also
Poor
just
Vic.
like, I feel like it'll be really tense if we're with him every single week, and then by the end, like you kind of mentioned, he either turns or Oz kills him or he dies or something, and then it's just like, I don't know, like to see that pain from Oz's perspective is going to be satisfying to see, you know, Colin Farrell's
Yeah.
performance. So
That's true.
I'm kind of just putting all the chips on that happening. I would be surprised if that's not the case.
Yeah.
We saw him get a text now. Again, before I get
Mm-hmm.
into that, like I do feel sorry for him. He was laying down in the grave, just having a rough go at it, getting caught putting jewels unsuccessfully into the
I had to do the
but
jewels and the knife. You know how much work that is for me in a day.
he got a text though, and I'm assuming it was his buddies saying like, "Where have you been?" or something like that. Did you see that?
Maybe,
right
but
before the-
I can't assume it's his buddies. It could be family.
We don't
too.
know
I
who
don't
it
know.
is. Yeah,
Yeah.
it was right before the cam girls were like chatting him up, and she's like very interested in his relationship with Oz. They really emphasized this scene a little bit.
That text that he got, I feel like I had some holdbacks last week, because I'm like, how does nobody fucking know or care where this guy went? Like he clearly like had a group that he was with, and now they just don't talk. So it was nice to get this scene. I don't know who it was on the other end, but at least someone is asking for him, because I imagine, you know, Oz kind of has him on call 24/7. Like he doesn't have a lot of free time. So even if like kind of, you know, Oz in his conversation from last week alluded to that like maybe his family died in the floods or something, like maybe he is alone, but that wasn't confirmed. So I did like that he has someone out there kind of looking for him, and I imagine that'll
Bruce
complicate.
Wayne. Where
Where are you? Where are you? I need you. 42% crime has increased.
It is funny because like that's how he meets the second Robin. Is the second Robin's trying to steal tire off the Batmobile. So the fact that this
Shoots
guy
at him in his
Oh.
Maserati.
yeah, that's how Batman
you
met the
see-
second
could
Robin.
you
He
see
shot
that?
a line.
That's an interesting parallel, though. Could you see them making him like maybe he does get saved and Bruce like
This is our
takes him
Robin.
in, like Batman 3, you get Vic as the Robin. So Vic is around for another show, 2 movies.
Kills
I-
Oz with his bare hands.
I don't. That gives something Oz to do, because I always wonder now when Matt Reeves is like, hey, you know, this. We had an idea for Penguin and Batman 2, and then they want a show. So obviously it's flushed out, but but majority of stuff, or at some point, some storyline they were going to do with Penguin was this story. So I always go like, okay, and they've said he's coming back for the Batman 2. So I'm like, okay, if you're doing that story in the show, what is he? Because I also don't want Penguin just to, I guess he could just be like a goon that's always around. So that's why I do think like the whole Eve Carlo, Clayface thing that could get Penguin involved, right? Because Penguin like led to the death of his sister. That's a direct story tie right in. But like Taylor's memeing like his former protege becoming a Robin is like that's a direct reason to also get him in. I don't think that's gonna happen, but like I wouldn't be opposed. I like the actor enough. I don't know in this world if I feel like when we get to James Gunn Batman, that's where you can have like the what was Hit Girl. You can have like the Damian Wayne who's like 10 years old, kicking ass, everything. But like if you have like Pattinson team with like a 10-year-old kid in this goth, it's like I don't know if I really buy it per se. And at least this guy's like a young kid, or like a younger man. So I guess I could buy it, but I'll still say I don't think so. But it's not like out of the realm of possibility because again, that is a similar origin, and we'll get the same fucking shit as Dark Knight Rises. Like Penguin will find his real ID. Like, what's your name? You told me your name was Vic. Oh, that's my middle name. It's actually it's Jason Todd. Like, oh, that's the big reveal.
Are there any Robins that have a stutter?
No, but Batman would beat that out of them if they did, just like
I'm stuttering.
yeah, punch him enough times, like, oh, I fixed you.
Proper.
Yeah. So, would you want that, Taylor, him to become a future Robin? Like, if that's how it ended, of like,
Since you said it, like I'm actually pretty interested in that. I think that'd be a really cool turnaround, and I like the idea, like this former protege of the Penguin. His heart's not in it. That's how I feel. And so for him to eventually be coming, like maybe he's doing something for Oz and then Batman like catches him and it just unforeseen turn of events. Alfred convinces him, like Alfred just opens up the Batcave and then lets Vix just walk
okay, well,
in
let's
there.
not do what we did in Batman Forever, all right? Just like, or no, I guess he didn't do that. He did that in Batman '89 with Vicky Vale. Alfred just let him in.
That's right.
Remember, no, Chris O'Donnell was pretending to do laundry in Batman Forever, and he like fucking flipped his way into the
That's right.
yeah. So maybe not that, even though I would love to see Robert Pattinson's Bruce Wayne like act that like he's just always so haunted and just seeing like what are you doing here? Like, he would just like be traumatic. But again, I don't necessarily want a Robin in these movies. We only got 3, and it's not a waste of time. If Matt Reeves feels, hey, I got a great Robin story, I want to tell it, then I'm all ears. But for me, if it's like, okay, we're only doing 3 of these, and they're already saying like we have it confirmed, Robin is in Brave and the Bold. Like the movie's about Batman and his son being Robin, so it's like, I don't really want that here. Like we got 2 more movies with Pattinson. I'd rather let's just do Pattinson. And if he has a sidekick, then it's Selena. Not to like bring her down, but like that's what I'd want. Like have him team up with her. Not maybe they could say this character's like an informant. It could be like the way Nolan did a Robin, where like Joseph Gordon-Levitt was his Robin, but he was just like a cop, like his sidekick. So I could see that. Maybe Batman uses him as like a informant or something, but no, I think he's not long for this world either. I feel like the only people that could make it past are Penguin, obviously, and then I think Clancy Brown, just because they did set up. Remember that they set up Maroni was one of the possible people that had Bruce's parents killed, and I think Clancy Brown is not that the other people aren't strong enough actors, but he's still Clancy Brown's a weird character because it feels like tons of people still don't know him. He's one of those that guy actors. That's the thing, right? Like if I ask my mom or Emily who's Clancy Brown, they probably won't know. But if you show them a photo right away, and like he was just in John Wick, and I would like them to put those strings together of Bruce, like if Maroni gets out but I could also see Maroni getting out in like the finale and then Penguin just killing him because like I feel like they've set it up that Penguin's gonna be the guy, like the mob guy, so he kind of has to take out everybody, right? But yeah, what do you guys feel? We talked about a bit. We saw but Ferroni, fuck, Filoni. No, not Filoni. Oh my god,
Maroni.
Thank you.
Filoni made his way onto this fucking town.
Yeah, imagine that if he was and he was my brother, and it's Dave Filoni, he has a cowboy hat on. It's like, but anyways, Salto Maroni, we met his family. But yeah, what do you guys feel about his stats right now? Because Penguin, he's working with them, but they also asked him to get that guy out. Penguin ended up killing that guy, so Penguin is like, and we'll talk about the ending of this episode after, but he's still 2-time in both of them. But yeah, do you guys think Maroni could make it, or do you think he's also going to be a casualty in this show?
I'm kind of split on him. I feel like because he is in prison, it seems like he's safe, but that also might be a good person to kill off if like Sophia gets to him. It's like, holy fuck, we thought he was safe, but like she got to him in the prison cell, have him hanging in a cell, like that's like a pretty easy image to have on there. But I don't know, because you laid out a lot of good reasons to keep him just moving forward for Batman 2. So I'm pretty dead even on that. I feel like it could really go either way. I would want him to stay in because I'm loving Clancy Brown on screen.
yeah.
He's fantastic. And I liked how last week Oz was like so confident of like saying that the Maronis they'll take the hit for just like the clout and like all these reasons, and then we get here and like Clancy Brown was threatening to like stab him, like, you think we'll just take it for this reason? And they ended up doing it just because he's able to kind of spin it like a good sales pitch on why they should do it, and then they got a deal out of it. So I just like those grimy deals that are going on, and especially with seeing Oz orchestrate them is lots of fun. And I like that it wasn't just it didn't just go as planned, right? Like, just waste everyone in the first vehicle. I'm not going to be in there. And then fuck, he gets thrown in the first vehicle. And just the way that he played out that sequence too was fantastic. When the guy says the joke and then he says a different joke and just fucking offs them all. Like he's literally just rolling with the punches in these scenes. And it's like life or death situations. So it's just really, really high stakes there. But I kind of added a little bit too much extra to your question there, but you can reel it back to
never
big
enough when you
Clancy
talk about
Brown.
Clancy Brown,
Yeah.
Talk about him for days.
Him and his venison.
Yeah. Go check out our Dex reviews. Kurt, one of the best review characters we've ever
baby.
talked about, man. Like, that's why I want him out. I want him to get a sniper in the Batman. He needs to go toe to toe with Pattinson,
He's got all that gear, that white camo. You get snow in the
yeah.
Batman, like, I mean,
Baby, it's
You
coming
know,
too.
it's coming. There was a promo today of like a future episode of Penguin, and there was snow in Gotham, so it's coming. And yeah,
He just
imagine
snipes
that.
Oz's
Just
mom on her
They-
couch.
they go like, imagine it's like Wedding Crashers, like they go to like a hunting scene, him and Bruce, like, and Maroni, like, oh, you want to talk to your family? Let's go for a little stroll, and he has like he's the full Kurt gear, like exact rip off, just Kurt. Yeah, but
Same set. We like go to the same fucking cabin that he had in Dexter
Yeah.
New Blood.
Oh, that's what would confirm Dexter's in this. He's one of the crime rates up. That's his new
I'd be
city he's
down.
going
I'd
to.
be down for that intertwined universe. Isn't
my-
Dexter a comic book, or is that?
No,
am
it
I
is
pulling too much
now.
on
They
that?
made it.
Okay.
They made it after and stuff like that. But yeah, he was always my fan cast. I want him as Riddler, not what we got with Paul Dano. I don't see well, actually, Michael C. Hall could have done that. He can play a weirdo, but like I always would.
Oh, I thought you were talking about Clancy Brown as the Riddler. I'm like, I'm for it. Give him like a Jim Carrey, outfit.
that scene of him and the boom and seeing Clancy Brown do that. But
no.
he kind of does that a little bit as Kurt. He only freaks out in Dexter's a few times. But no, Michael C. Hall, when there was rumors Riddler was going to be in the Nolan movies, like, oh, that's the guy right there. Like Michael C. Hall and
Yeah.
Nolan together. But well, we'll get Taylor's Clancy Brown thoughts after this next ad break. And we're back. So how you feeling right now in Maroney, Taylor? Is he getting out? Is he dying? Does he get to Batman 2? Because he does have some ties with Bruce,
he's getting out. I
He's
think
getting
for
out.
sure he's getting
Oh.
out. I think
Making it to the big screen?
yeah, I think he'll make it to the
Oh.
big screen. I do. I think God, at a point, shit. It has escaped my mind. but
Michael
I
C.
just,
Hall, Clancy Brown playing the Riddler, venison.
None of that. It
Yeah,
was
he has some
pre-
venison lately.
Sniper, Arctic,
pre that. No, I just think it was
drawings, Ethan.
yeah, Ethan. With Clancy Brown playing this character, I think that they're just getting started, and there's a lot of just chaos going on in the Falcone area of things, and so it just seems like their family's just getting one step ahead every step of the way, especially with Oz helping them out. So yeah, I just think that he's going to come out on top, and I'm going to butcher pronouncing her name. Shorey Agdashlu. She was the main lead in the Maroney family here, who almost got Oz like stabbed.
She's a great actress.
She is a great actress, and she voiced one of the main assassins, Assassin's Creed Mirage. Like her voice
Oh.
is fucking fantastic. I
Yeah.
think it's super badass, and so She was actually in Renfield and Nick Cage too. Actually, now that I think about
Yeah,
it.
she posts a bunch. I first saw her in Grey's Anatomy. Taylor. Didn't you recently watch X-Men 3, or did you skip that one?
I skipped that one.
Okay, she's in
She's
X-Men
in there?
3. Yeah, she's a scientist
Oh,
working on the
shit.
cure. Yeah, she just pops up everywhere. So
Yeah, really cool that she's in here and she's part of the Maroney family as well. Yeah, so I think that they're gonna stick around, and I think that if you said that Maroney is responsible for killing Bruce's parents, then
No.
definitely.
I did
No?
not say that. I said that's what they insinuated in the Batman as an
They
option.
insinuated. Okay, then I think that to me, it makes sense that they would follow up with that and tie it in a little bit
Yeah.
more into the story, at least
'Cause
because
this-
Bruce thinks that.
Well, no. Again,
I don't know in what the
he doesn't
context
know
was
what to think.
insinuated.
You need to watch Batman. Falcone insinuated that Maroni had his parents killed.
Oh, okay.
So it is from Falcone, but even Alfred says, like, I don't know if Falcone did it killed your parents. I don't know if Maroni did. I don't know if it was just a random mugger on the street. So like Bruce really doesn't know still. But that was an option because the Maronis did not like what the Waynes were trying to do to Gotham as well. And I can't remember the exact wording, but that's one of the reasons why they go. Oh, it was Maroni. I think he was the one that exposed Martha for being Arkham. Remember, she was in Arkham in the Batman. And that got out there in the public. And I think
Right.
Maroni had a hand in that. So I think that he went to Falcone and he wanted it stopped. And that's where all the, X, Y, and Z and all this stuff. So that's where either way, there's history. If he killed the Waynes, if he ordered the hit, whatever there's history between the Waynes and the Maronis, the same way there's the Falcones. Now, I feel like that was settled last movie with Carmine because Batman literally saw him die. And he didn't have to worry about Alberto. I don't think he has to worry about Sophia, and then the only Falcone left technically will be Selena. That, of course, he'll be all up in. So, like, I feel like the Falcone family kind of gets closed with this show, and that's where you can kind of bring in the Maroni family, which is kind of funny because, like, people that always compare these to the Nolan films, that's exactly what the Nolan films did. It was the Falcones first, and then Maroni. So, it is kind of going that same path. So that's why I could see Clancy Brown also just dying and just Penguin being the sole. Not that there won't be other mobsters, but he is the kingpin now. So even though I love Clancy
Well, then
Brown,
maybe he'd keep him locked up, right? Because then, he could still call shots, I guess, if he's locked up. But
Yeah.
you could keep him. Because is he at Blackgate or Arkham? Because I feel like one is worse
Blackgate.
than the other.
yeah, not
I think
Arkham.
Arkham's
He's-
worse
yeah,
than Blackgate.
yeah. Arguable. It is, but like you get out easier.
I guess in this case, yeah, they're not letting Clancy Brown out, but they're letting him out in Arkham.
Yeah, you're letting this lady who's like having midday flashes to stuff, which that was really good scene. I love that because first we'll talk about her doctor in a second, but she had a hallucination while she was at their therapist, and then later on the show at the funeral they were playing a video of her and her brother when they're younger. But I like at first they didn't play it off. You didn't know it was a video, so you thought she was just fucking hearing voices again and hearing her mom call her, and she wasn't. She went in his video and she's trying to not get upset. But yeah, we got to the beginning of this episode where she looked like she was back in Arkham, and they're talking about how she could go, but you got to do this. Like at first, like okay, we're getting a full flashback, and then like, oh well, someone's here to see you. It's Alberto, of course. His head gets blown. He shows his pinky that's gone. Head gets blown off right in front of her. She's screaming. I guess the great Theo Rossi, who I loved ever since Sons of Anarchy. He was in Luke Cage as well. He has some sort of light LED thing that goes back and forth and everything like that. And I can't remember what his name was, and I searched it up, and I think it's Julian Rush was his name, but it's no one in DC related. But because the lights and because he's being creepy, yeah, okay, I think it was Dr. Julian Rush. I don't think this is the case they're going to go down. Lots of people are like, that's Hugo Strange, apparently. That's like a theory right now because Hugo Strange is like, does some mind fucky stuff and he's kind of a weird guy too. But I really don't because I don't know. Like, that's almost too Nolan type of reveal of like, oh, my name's Dr. Julian Rush, but I used to be Hugo Strange. Like, I don't necessarily need that, but
Is Hugo Strange like in the comics and stuff? Because my only experience with him is in Arkham City. Is he normally like that level of like a villain that's like
depends.
just
There's times where
controlling so many things?
yeah, there's been times where he's just been like a nobody, and there's times where he's like one of the main guys. So it just kind of depends on the writer and who's doing working with them. Plus, like, not that I need it exact because like look at Riddler, he doesn't look like the Riddler, but I think Hugo Strange is an easy enough guy that you can't find a bald guy and with a beard. Like literally, since he's lost the weight, like Dave Bautista's the fucking pick. Like you look at Dave Bautista right now, he'd make a great Hugo Strange. So nothing against Theo Rossi. It's just like I don't know if I need like hot Hugo Strange. Like that's one where it's I get the Riddler, but Hugo just looks like a dude. So I'd like him to look like he does in the comic books. He's never been in a movie, and yeah, he was fucking great in Arkham City. He was like a prime villain there. So Hugo and Hugo Strange to me, he fits like the Matt Reeves first. You know, like that's one where it's like, oh, that's perfect there. You know, so I was waiting because I was like, man, this is gonna be Dr. Crane or something. I'm like, fuck. I was looking for that name. And then it said Julian Rush. I'm like, oh, okay. Nobody. You're a nobody.
Sorry, which did you mention? BD Wong's Hugo Strange? Did you mention that one?
Why would I?
That's in Gotham, right?
Is that a movie?
Oh, right. Yeah, I thought you meant live action. I didn't realize you said movie.
Keep up. No, I'm joking. But yeah, no, in a movie, it's never been there. And like, I don't know, a handful of people saw Gotham. But yeah, BD Wong was a great Hugo Strange. He looked like him, but yeah, he was tons of fun.
BD Wong, Kirkland?
I've never heard of BD Wong.
Yeah,
Remember
you
in
have.
Jurassic World letting the locusts out, his long hair?
Oh my god, that guy. Yes,
Terry, are you looking at him right now? Can you do
I
a
It's
watched
funny
it.
because
I
I watched
am.
Jurassic World not too long ago, just randomly. I threw it on, and I totally
One?
forgot about that. Yeah, just the first one. Totally forgot about that character, and then it made me think of where he is by the end of those.
Yeah, there he is, Hugo Strange. So like, but that's what I mean. That look, the glasses,
Look at him in the lab.
the glasses, the beard. Like you can have anybody do. That's Dave Bautista. Like search up
Yeah.
Taylor. Next, go search up Dave Bautista Killer's Game red carpet and see what he looks like right now. Man, when he put in D, just dicks came up as a search. That's crazy.
Dick comparison
Yeah.
chart.
But look at that picture
Oh,
right there.
that's him
That's
for
fucking
sure.
Hugo
Wow.
Strange right there, my friends. Like, and he'd be great. You know how
He would
good
be
he would
good.
be. Like, think about like I don't think. Have you all seen Blade Runner? I know Taylor has. Kirkland, you never saw 2049, right? Did you?
2049.
The sequel, Blade Runner 2049.
Never seen any Blade Runner movie in my entire life.
Okay, Taylor, put in that as well. Put in Blade Runner 2049 with Batista's name there. Obviously, he is like bigger there, but like even that role where he's a bit more quieter and at first it's creepy, but lots revealed where like, oh, this character actually wasn't creepy. Look at those little glasses right there. Like now he's like the perfect size. You got those glasses. Yeah, come on, Matt Reeves. But obviously,
Yeah, I'm with you.
but anyways, back to Julian Rush. Weird scene because he was definitely like he's getting a little hard, right, in that moment there while he's holding her, right?
Oh,
That's what
yeah.
was happening.
There's
Yeah.
something up against her backside. And
That's why she freaked out. She's like,
Yeah.
"What are you doing here?" You know. So we'll see. Do you think what's going to happen there? I think what's going to happen is they're going to get on, and then she's going to kill him. That's my prediction.
like during?
Maybe actually, Sophia's the type of person, but no, I think it'll be after. I think he'll overstep his boundaries, and then she'll just be done with him. Or he's like a plant or something. Like maybe the Falcons have specifically paid him to like try to push her in a certain direction, and she's gonna figure that out, and then she's gonna hang him, but he's not gonna be hung in the good way. I'll tell you about that. You know, it'd be bad. Neck snapped. Dead.
By his balls. Just
By-
hanging
yeah.
from the building.
Now they call me the hung man. And they just find him.
God,
Just-
what a way to
yeah.
go.
The hung man.
Main villain for the Batman too. You thought the Hangman was dangerous.
He
Now the
lives.
Hung man.
He lives and he's forever changed.
What villain does he become if he lives? We got Joker. What Batman villain could he become? Oh man.
That's Talon right there.
Does he
That's
become
your leader of the
that's
Court of
Talon.
Owls.
Talon,
Okay.
yeah.
I was gonna say that, or does he become Mr. Freeze because he cut off some circulation? He's like blue balls, so his whole body like gets
I
cold.
get
and,
behind
like-
that, yeah.
Get behind that Mr. Freeze versus Batman versus
You know what really killed the
Hung Man.
dinosaurs? These nuts.
blue balls. Kirkland, what's going on with Julian Rush?
Oh, jeez.
And did you like the
Who's
stuff with
Julian
Sophia?
Rush? I
He's
don't
the
even remember where.
therapist. He's the therapist.
Oh yeah, I recognize this cat. I don't know what from. You mentioned Sons of Anarchy. I feel like I've seen one episode of that show, but
He's in a bunch of stuff. He's a good character
Yeah.
actor. Yeah, you never saw Luke Cage. He was in that too. There's other stuff. But he's really good.
yeah. No, I really liked him in the scene, and yeah, it's just I don't know, exploring a psycho character's psyche is always interesting. So I'm interested in kind of what happens moving forward with those characters. But I really love the way that scene played out. It just I don't know, just something with like a serial killer and like a therapist's office. Just call back to some Hannibal glory. So I
Yes.
was definitely thinking about those sequences. But no, I just love the dream sequence moment when she sees her brother, and then just the way that the light was going back and forward was very interesting. And yeah, I don't
I hope
really have
we
much more to say other than it's just fantastic.
Yeah, I hope we actually get a therapy scene because he asked her and then she like freaked out. I hope there's like a good solid, because they got a good actor, so I hope there's like a good solid 10-15 minute scene of there of
We'll
her
never
talking.
see him again. That was
Yeah, that's
all
it.
his-
He's gonna be in the Batman too. They're saving him. That's the MCU
Hugo Strange
connection.
right there.
Oh, you never saw the Penguin show? That's Hugo Strange. But no, I hope like even if maybe that's how they. Because we've seen scenes of her in Arkham. Maybe that's how they do the flashbacks. Is through the therapy lessons, and I'd very much enjoy that. So, anything else?
Can't think of anything. We covered most of it, I think. Kirkland?
Yeah,
You
I don't
think you
really
got
have
something?
anything else to add. I don't think. I feel like there was something, but I don't know. Got mixed in the weeds.
Yeah, I talked about Penguin, talked about Falcone, talked about poor. I did actually like Sophia's little bodyguard there, but unfortunately, the bald guy he
Yeah.
took the rap. So, and I thought Johnny Vito was gonna get it there with the knife. I thought Penguin was gonna plant him right there. I still did. I miss. I still missing why these photos of him with that woman are so important.
Well, that's so that's John's wife, right? That or no, not John. Fuck, what's his name? V. Whatever the fuck his name is.
That's VD.
The
no,
uncle.
It's like the two partners. The one guy, the photos are with the other guy's wife.
That's okay. So what we talked about. So the guy that is Falcone's brother, right? Sophia's
Yes.
uncle.
Yes.
Okay, because I
That's
made
his
that.
wife, and
'cause
then
I-
Johnny's sleeping with her.
Penguin's big play. Got these photos. They open up. It's just Johnny having sex with his wife. It's like, so
You like
Are you
that?
sure?
I got more.
That's the guy that executed like the traitor, like his wife with VD.
I think it's just like the two at the head, right? Or is there three? Is there three?
there's another
males?
third
There's
guy, but he
three,
didn't seem.
yeah.
He doesn't
So
seem that
all
important.
three of them were included in that sequence, but out of the two, the one guy's sleeping with the other guy's wife, and then
Who was the guy? Because when Penguin arrived at the funeral, there was the
Any
woman,
names?
the blonde woman, and then the guy leaving. And he's like, Penguin's like, oh, I got something you want to see, but he just got ignored, and they left and got in the limo and drove off.
Was that not the uncle though? Because I
But
thought
the
that
uncle,
too.
the uncle was there the whole time, though. It looked like.
Was he just
so
walking the broad
Milo
out,
or
though?
Milo, whatever that guy's name is, or whoever, yeah, whatever one that is, that's his wife, the blonde chick, and then, what's his name? Johnny.
Johnny
Not on
Vidi.
IMDb.
John VD.
Yeah, he's the one sleeping with that guy's wife, and then the third one, Luca, is the one that shot Buddy.
Okay, so
Okay.
Luca is not in the equation.
No,
Okay,
so
Luca
Milo-
is Carmine's
yeah.
brother. But like, why? Like, why? I guess I'm still waiting to see. Does he just want to create tension? I guess between the two, because like he's
Yeah.
still not the head. Like Carmine's
I
brother.
feel like he was already like Oz was going head to head with mostly that Johnny guy. It seemed like Milo was
Yes.
kind of okay with it, so it seemed like that was his play to really fuck that guy over. That's at
Really
least how
fucked
I
that
was,
guy over.
Really fucked him over.
That's how they call me, motherfucker penguin.
Batman too. That's his name.
I'm looking for the motherfucker penguin. Okay, I still wish to make that a bit more clear. Again, maybe I missed something, but I just because at least it is what I theorized last week, though. Because I'm like, what does it matter if this guy's like, even if he's just cheating on his wife, like he's like a mobster? But I did say like, unless it's with someone else's wife, and it supposedly is. So hopefully that gets comes to a head soon. So
Agreed.
All right. Well, I think that's it for this week. If you got any questions that we missed or anything, hit us up in the Discord or on Patreon, and we will bring them to next week, or we'll talk about it whenever. But yeah, next week, we'll be back with episode 3. Hopefully, it's another great one, and we promise you it'll not be boring.
Bye.